Hello, people of the interwebs. My name is Garrett, here with the Protectors in Southern California. In today's video, we will be discussing how to buy a gun in the state of California. Keep in mind, I am not a lawyer, and nothing I say in this or any of my videos should be considered legal advice. That being said, the information that I will be presenting is accurate as of July 1st, 2023. Buying a gun in California is actually way easier than you've been led to believe. The easiest thing you can do to find out how to buy one is to call or walk into a gun store and ask them, "How do I buy a gun from you?" Which they will gladly answer for you. Now, due to California's love of guns and its citizens owning them, they've added a few requirements that you need to fulfill before you can own a gun. That being said, they are very simple and easy to fulfill. To demonstrate how easy it is to buy a gun in California, I went and bought a Gen 3 Glock from the Second Amendment Zone in Riverside, California. Note, I have no affiliation with them other than being a paying customer. This Gen 3 Glock that I bought will eventually become my everyday carry, replacing this. But that is a video for another day. First requirement in order to buy a firearm is that you can legally own one, meaning you haven't been convicted of a felony or any other disqualifying crimes listed on the Form 4473, which is the federal background form. I'll be overlaying that here so you guys can see what it looks like. It is publicly available from the ATF's website. Now, this being a federal form means that all 50 states and DC have to use this exact same form, and you have to pass it in order to buy a gun. Even if you buy a gun from a licensed FFL at a gun show, they still have to run this background check. Only if you are buying from a private party in states that do not have a universal background check requirement, such as Arizona, are you exempt from filling out this form to buy a gun. Again, every licensed dealer in the United States has to run you through this form in order to sell you a gun legally, regardless of where they are selling you that gun. As you guys can see here, the background check form is very simple and easy to fill out. It only took me about 15 minutes to do it. In California, our incredibly friendly and freedom-loving overlords so generously raised the background check fee from about $11 to $37.19 at the outbreak of the 2020 pandemic, because a computer instantly searching a database to see if I've ever committed a crime and a disease that mostly affects humans are very clearly related or something. The second requirement and first special California requirement is that you pass the California Firearms Safety Certificate test. You have to do this once every 5 years. Don't worry, the test is really easy. It's 30 questions from a pool of 90. You have to get 23 out of 30 right to pass, and most of them are common sense. I'll be leaving a link in the description box below to a study guide with all the questions and answers. Just go over them a few times before you take the test, and you will be fine. If you do fail, you just have to wait 24 hours before you can retake the test. One thing to note is that if you have a valid California concealed carry permit, you are exempt from the FSC requirement, as well as the safe handling demonstration you must do when picking up a handgun, which is just take a dummy round, put it in your magazine, insert the magazine in your gun, chamber the round, and eject the round. Very simple. The gun store people will walk you through it, no problem. And your CCW will act as your second proof of residence, which you also need when you buy a handgun. The third requirement and second special California requirement is that you have to wait 10 days to the exact second for the state to run your instant criminal background check. You heard that correctly. You have to wait 10 days for the state to run an instant background check. You have to wait the 10 days, even if you own guns. Even if you are concealed carrying a gun, legally, I might add, in the store when you are buying your new gun. I know, it makes more sense the less you think about it. The fourth and final requirement is that you leave the store and return once your 10 days have elapsed. Now, sometimes the background check gets delayed, so you can call the store and ask if it's cleared before you go in. In order to pick up your new gun, you will need an ID, and if you do not have a real ID, you need to use your passport or birth certificate in order to pick up your gun. If you're buying a handgun, you need a second proof of residency document, which could be your car registration, a utility bill, or your CCW license. Now, I understand that a lot of people might not be comfortable bringing a sensitive document like your passport or birth certificate to a gun store or just in public in general. So most gun stores do accept a picture of those documents emailed to them. So that is an option as well. That concludes today's video of how to buy a gun in California. I told you it is way easier than you think it is. And just remember, it is totally acceptable for you to walk into a gun store and say, "How do I buy a gun from you?" They will gladly walk you through the process because they want your money. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. Thank you for watching. This has been Garrett with The Protectors.